Another patch, another counter to Darius. Can we please just nerf him already? I hate doing these. Hello summoners and welcome back to another ProGuides video. My name is Irene and today we'll be discussing counter picks to the OP champions on patch 10.15. We'll be going over the runes, builds, and playstyles to effectively counter specific matchups. So the next time you run into one of these characters, you'll have the game knowledge and confidence to bully your opponents. But first, here's today's question of the day. What champion do you think needs to be hard nerfed? For me, it's Darius. As you'll see in the video, I think it's time for him to go. Let me know your answers in the comments below. And lastly, before we get started, make sure to join our Discord and check out ProGuides.com. There we have courses from your favorite pro players like Doublelift and many challenger level coaches who can take your gameplay to the next level. We also have daily live classes from top tier instructors like Zyrene and Mike Young. Don't miss out on these great opportunities to improve and join the community. With that being said, let's jump straight into the video. Okay, at this point, I'm sick of seeing Darius in our videos. Can we just nerf him already? Ghost has been buffed twice and Darius hasn't received any compensation nerfs. So he's just downright obnoxious to deal with. One early mistake and boom, your lane is over. One mistake in a team fight, he'll dunk his way to a pentakill. To help deal with this top lane terror, Heimerdinger is a champion that is rarely picked, but it's actually incredibly powerful when played correctly. Darius wins most of his lanes by just forcing on his opponents when they move up to CS. In this lane, you never have to put yourself in danger as Heimerdinger. While maxing Q, his turret just shreds minion waves, forcing the shove quickly. While this is happening, you're free to harass Darius with your missiles, auto attacks, everything. Eventually, when he's fed up with your lack of interaction and harass, he'll look to engage. Thanks to your passive movement speed near your own turrets, you can easily just back away as your turrets pelt him down. If he still tries forcing on you, a grenade to the face not only stuns him, but also powers up your turret lasers, blasting him as you escape. Just be sure to play safe until your grenade is back up, and rinse and repeat, and he'll never be able to touch you as you build a CS lead and chip at his tower. Start off your lane with Doran's Ring and make sure your first completed item is Luden's Echo. Then buy Sorcerer's Shoes, Zhonya's Hourglass, Morellonomicon, Void Staff, and Rabadon's Deathcap. It's worth noting that Liandry's provides a huge amount of value to Heimerdinger as well, but you need Grievous Wounds from Morello against Darius. If you're feeling feisty, you could build a Liandry's in place of Zhonya's for a maximum damage build. A bonus tip, Heimerdinger is super good at shredding objectives, so sneaking Baron is easy. All you need is a teammate to tank it, and maybe your ADC or mid laner to come and help you, and you'll kill Baron in a few seconds. When dealing with Camille, you have to be able to deal with her ability to constantly harass while healing with her W, and her short bursty trades that leave you feeling like there was never really a chance to do damage back to her between her shield and her stun. But Cassiopeia is here to shut that down. Being ranged, Cassiopeia has the harass advantage in this lane. Every time Camille goes for a W, clap back with a Q and a couple of E's. Your harass is better than hers, so if she gets tired of playing from afar and tries to force on you, Camille may be biting off more than she can chew. Cass does a surprisingly high amount of sustained damage, so there's just no real winning trade Cammy can take. Your Miasma's grounding effect shuts down Camille when she tries to either escape or press forward with her hookshot. And if she's especially persistent, your ult serves as a last resort to stun her and put space in between you. Your build should look something like this. Start off with Doran's Ring and buy Tear of the Goddess ASAP. Upgrade Tear to Archangel Staff, then pick up Rylai's and Liandry's. If the enemy comp calls for it, you can buy Zhonya's Hourglass. Otherwise, just pick up Morellonomicon. Finish off your build with Void Staff and Rabadon's Deathcap. While Cass does win trades with Camille, this isn't really the case until you have Tear, since Cassiopeia runs out of mana incredibly fast without it. And remember, you're playing a hyper carry champ, so there's no reason to force your lead in lane. Just harass and take small trades while sustaining through the lane to reach mid game. Once you have 2 or 3 items, then you can aggressively chase people down or carry team fights. Quick disclaimer for the jungle can be largely influenced by lane priority. This video is assuming that neither laners are budging from their lanes to come and decide the fight. Like most assassins, Kha'Zix is best dealt with by shutting him down early game, but his isolated damage is pretty high and can surprise junglers that try to punish him. The best way to deal with this? Never be alone. With her spiderlings, Elise is actually never isolated, and it's great for squashing the other bug. The matchup is pretty simple. When fighting Kha'Zix, lead with your human form, using your cocoon, Q, and W, and then swap to spider form to Q him again. Use W to auto attack him down, and you absolutely shred him. If he ever tries to escape you, your repel's range is way further than his tiny jump, so he doesn't even have a chance to flee the fight. But also keep in mind that Elise falls off hard if she isn't ahead. So once you get an early lead, you want to snowball as hard as possible. To do this, grab Blue Smite with Runic Echo's enchant, Sorcerer's Shoes, and Morellonomicon. This core will give you super high burst damage, and you can pick up Zhonya's and Void Staff next, depending on which you need more. Finish off your build with Rabadon's Death Cap if the game goes on that long. On top of your stronger 1v1, you also have way higher gank pressure. So not only will you outduel him, but you should also win your lanes for your teammates. This matchup is a through and through hard counter if you play it right. KARTHUS is an absolute monster at the moment, with a huge amount of success in multiple roles. The reason for this? He farms super easily and scales really hard, dealing huge damage in teamfights. Kindred is a jungler who honestly scales just about as hard, but with a much better kit for dealing with him in both a 1v1 and 5v5 setting. To start, KARTHUS' clear is good, but his actual dueling is only so-so in the early game. As Kindred, this means you can freely invade him for marks with confidence. If he ever tries to fight you, your E's slow helps you chase him down as you hop around with Q, shredding him down. When invading for 1 mark, you may end up leaving with 2 if KARTHUS tries too hard to defend his camps. In teamfights, you just keep messing with what KARTHUS wants to accomplish. Being ranged, you can dance around all of his damage as you kite around the fight. Once he dies and starts channeling his ultimate, your own ultimate completely nullifies it, and can leave him effectively useless. Generally, you'll build into Red Smite with Warrior Enchant first, along with Berserker Greaves. From here, pick up Rapid Fire Cannon, Infinity Edge, and Phantom Dancer. Your last item is flexible depending on your game's needs, but some options are Lord Dominic's Regards, Mortal Reminder, and Bloodthirster. It's also worth noting here that Kindred's builds can be wildly flexible. If the enemy comp has a ton of HP, think Mundo, Cho'Gath, Galio, Vladimir, then the Bloodrazor enchant can be swapped in over Warrior. In this case, consider building Blade of the Ruined King and Black Cleaver, then Hurricane and Lord Dominic's Regards or Mortal Reminder. Slippery and annoying. FIZZ can be a tilting experience to deal with. Thankfully, Galio is an easy-to-use perfect counter to him. Your pushing power will be much higher as your Q and passive cleave down the entire wave, and FIZZ is unable to match. If he walks up to even touch the wave or attempt to trade on you, your taunt and ensuing combo wrecks him, and thanks to Aftershock and your magic shield, he's unable to return the favor. Remember that your taunt also provides damage reduction, so if FIZZ ults you in a desperate attempt to all-in, start channeling it before the shark knocks you up. FIZZ can't really do anything else, so just win, forehead. Start the lane with Doran's Ring and make your first item Proto Belt. Boots are flexible. If they have CC, go for Merc Treads. If they have a lot of AD threats, go Ninja Tabi. Otherwise, Sorc Shoes for damage are completely fine. Next up, build Luden's Echo, Zhonya's Hourglass, Rabadon's Death Cap, and Void Staff. If your team does plenty of damage and you strictly want to be tankier, you can swap in items to make you sturdier like Gargoyle Stoneplate, Abyssal Mask, Randuin's Omen, or Thornmail. Just remember, this pick is to shut down FIZZ by farming and outscaling while preventing him from going in on you. You're not supposed to be constantly trying to force on him. If you try to use Justice Punch to go in aggressively and he dodges it while his jungler is there, you end up throwing your entire lane right out the window. Due to his magic shield and hard-hitting auto attacks, KASSADIN deals with mages and most melee matchups pretty well. The solution? Tristana's AD damage ignores his magic shield. Her range lets her chip at him safely, and if he ever moves even a little bit too close, she has the ability to all in with ease. To do this, just lead with W and cast E on KASSADIN while you're midair. Your jump will slow him and apply a stack of your E. Even if he flashes away, he'll be slowed and in range of your autos. So landing 3 more auto attacks will fully stack your E, detonating it for huge damage and resetting your jump to continue the chase. Buy Doran's Blade for the lane and Rush Blade of the Ruined King for both the sustain and slow it gives for the all-in. Next up, buy Berserker's Greaves, Phantom Dancer, Infinity Edge, and Essence Reaver. Your last item is situational, but a couple of choices are Mercurial Scimitar and Lord Dominic's Regards. Don't underestimate your own damage. Tristana is more than capable of a solo kill as early as level 2 or 3 if KASSADIN isn't respecting you. Punish him and snowball out of control, jumping on him anytime he oversteps while warding and being mindful of the enemy jungler. Disclaimer, ADC is heavily influenced by supports, and you won't be just running at each other to fight a 1v1 unless you're absolute monkeys. These counters are more about how you win small trades and all-ins bottom lane, where there isn't an overwhelming amount of support difference on either side. While Ashe's range and slow let her poke and kite almost any lane opponent to death, Yasuo deals with the lane pretty well. The first couple of levels are a bit tough, but once you have access to all 3 abilities, it gets pretty damn easy. If Ashe ever gets too close, Q the minions a couple of times to get your knock-up ready, then dash through the minion wave, ignoring her slows completely. Once you're in range, just EQ combo her to knock her up, and throw out a wind wall and fight on it to prevent her from retaliating. Once you have ultis in the bot lane, coordinate with your support to go for all-ins, which should be pretty easy thanks to her immobility and your ability to block her ultimate with your own wind wall. Build the Ronin like this: Phantom Dancer, Berserker Greaves, Infinity Edge, Death's Dance, Guardian Angel, and Mortal Reminder. If the enemy is super tanky, Blade of the Ruined King can be used in place of Phantom Dancer. While this matchup is Yasuo favored, that's only really the case when playing around Windwall, so be mindful of your cooldowns before dashing into your own death. While Kate dominates most lanes thanks to her range, Jhin has always been a particularly good answer to her. It's not that he directly counters her, but more that he's just a lane bully that she doesn't have answers to, since Jin's one weakness is aggressive kill lanes. Play the lane out as Jhin like any other lane, trying to land Q bounces onto Kate if she's near the wave. If you or your support tag her with damage, land a W and go in for another auto, backing out before she can land an EQ combo. Bonus points if you hit her with a 4th shot. The Virtuoso's build goes like this: Infinity Edge, Boots of Swiftness, Rapid Fire Cannon, Storm Razor, Phantom Dancer, and Lord Dominic's Regards. Jin's unique ammo-based playstyle can take some getting used to, so make sure to get a feel for his auto-trading and practicing hitting his skill shots to get the most of his lane bullying ability. Disclaimer: just like ADC before, supports aren't wildly running at each other and fighting a 1v1 in supportal combat. This is more about how your kit counters what the other support is trying to do, and how to win trades or all-ins if there isn't a huge ADC diff. Blitzcrank's cheesy hooks mean the end of almost any bot laner he gets his hands on, but Taric isn't just any bot laner. If Blitz ever makes the mistake of pulling him in, he's just where he wants to be, in stun range and ready to fight. After landing stun, you just keep healing while dealing a ton of damage with Taric's passive and Q reset. It takes a huge amount of burst and follow-up DPS to burn Taric down through this, and Blitzcrank provides neither of those. So unless your ADC DCs, you should be able to win pretty much every fight at all stages of the lane. Start off the game with Steel Shoulder Guards and pick up Boots of Swiftness, unless you need the tenacity from Merc Treads. Build into Zeke's Convergence, Knight's Vow, Locket of the Iron Solari, and Redemption. If you don't need the AoE shielding from Locket, Ardent Sensor is also a really good option. While Taric should dominate the lane, be really mindful of two things. First, if you don't reset your abilities with your passive, you become completely useless, so don't stop autoing. Second, before you get Presence of Mind stacks, you are extremely susceptible to going thanks to how easy it is to spam your abilities. Be careful not to waste all of your mana and open yourself up to being killed. Senna's strength bot lane comes from how strong she just dominates almost every other playstyle. Against melee engaged supports, she can poke them down before they ever get a chance to fight, harvesting souls for her passive. Against enchanters, she just wins any trade since she's proccing her passive and grasp while healing any damage they deal. All these free passive stacks lead to her getting more and more range, and eventually she's just impossible to deal with. Thanks to his long-range trading, Brand is easily able to shut down Senna. If she stands in a minion wave in an attempt to walk up and trade on you, just use Pillar of Fire on Senna and the surrounding minions. Even if she's out of E range, you can still use it on a minion near her to have it splash on her as well. Your huge bursts of damage make her attempts at trading for souls impractical, and massively slows her roll before it even gets started. When you play Brand, you just want to build as much damage as possible. Start with Spell Thief's Edge and Rush Sorcerer's Shoes. Next, build into Liandry's Torment, Morellonomicon, Void Staff, and Rabadon's Death Cap is a nice 6th item. But this item is a bit expensive for a support, so that likely won't happen unless the game is super long. Here, you can also buy Rylai's Crystal Scepter. As with most mages, just focus on trading around your cooldowns. Obviously, you won't be winning an auto attack battle against her, but keep poking Senna down with W, and if she's in a minion wave after level 6, try landing a W on her and then ulting the wave. Your Pyroclasm will prioritize her, and since she already has your passive on her, it'll slow her, and you can run her down and stun her with your Q, making it easy for your ADC to follow up and kill her. That concludes our latest episode of Counter Picks. Remember to let us know what champion you'd like to see hard nerfed in the comments below. Lastly, don't forget to visit our website at ProGuides.com, where you can receive coaching from pro players, watch live classes, and improve with courses from pro players. Thanks for watching, can't wait to see you next time, and good luck on the Rift.